Hello, America, and everywhere else in the world. Welcome to episode 100 of Corey Has a Podcast. Whoa, I almost said a different name of a different podcast. Because, excuse me, Jesus Christ. This is already getting started off on a bad foot. How's everybody doing today? How are you? Where are you while you're listening to this? Are you somewhere where the weather is nice and warm? Or are you in Australia where every single animal can kill you? Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter. If you pet a cat, boom, your hand's going to fall off, right? I got listeners in Australia now, guys, so I've made it big time. I got people overseas, over multiple seas. You got to get over a few seas to get all the way over there. So... And that's what they mean by that when they say that, by the way. When people say overseas, they're talking about the amount of seas that it takes for you to get from one place to the next, right? Okay? You learn something new every day. How's everybody doing? First of all, I'd like to say thank you for putting up with me and listening to my stupid voice for 100 full episodes of this. I've been spending a lot of hours talking, and you've been spending a lot of hours listening, and it will not go unnoticed. Major shout out to everyone. Give yourself a pat on the back because you keep the lights on in this place. I got a lot on my mind. There's so many things that I have been through. Like, I feel like I have grown and evolved over time, and you guys have kind of come on a journey with me, and I think it takes a level of vulnerability to kind of go, yeah, I'm just going to sit here and talk into this microphone. I feel like if this was the end of the world and I was like I am legend type shit, which is the only scenario I would put myself to be Will Smith in, because I fucking went from loving him to not being able to stand him, and it's his fucking wife's fault. And that's just how I feel. But anyway, I'm usually really good at separating the art from the artist too. I really am. I'm like top fucking tier. I'm really good at doing that. I still will dance to Step in the Name of Love. And that guy is a fucking monster. So yeah, I'm pretty good about it. But yeah, God, I feel like there's a level of annoying that you could be that I just won't tolerate, And I think Will Smith has become someone who I find annoying, which is unfortunate, There's only a few people that I find annoying that I'll put up with, Like, I love my mom to death. My mom actually listens to this podcast. I love you, Mom. She annoys me sometimes. That was it. That was the nicest way I could say that. She's listening, okay? Now she's going to text me. I know she's going to text me. So you ever notice how much money you spend ordering food on Seamless? Because you have such a busy life that you can't even imagine getting home and cooking. Or because it's so fucking hot outside and you haven't put your air conditioner in yet. And you're like, what, am I going to stand in front of a fire? What are you, nuts? I'm ordering food. So it's already cooked somewhere else, and then it shows up. It's already prepared. And the delivery has gotten way better. Like, when you order some shit, oftentimes it shows up and it's like it was well preserved on its way to you. Before it looked like someone would just toss everything in a bag and shake it up outside of the door and then go, here you go fuck yourself. And then you got to figure it out. But they've gotten really good at packaging your food. But I was on Seamless the other day, and I'm looking and I'm like, man, there's stuff in this neighborhood that I haven't ordered from before. And I'm really such a creature of habit. It's hard. It's hard for me to try new things. And I'm looking and I'm just like, fuck, like, I could see these ratings, I could see these stars, but like, how do I know that these guys haven't rated themselves? How do I know that this isn't fake? And I wish that they would include the letter grade that you get in New York. I don't know if they do that in other states, but in front of restaurants and shit in New York, places where food is served, you can get a letter, right? Like, you get an A. Like, if you pass your health inspection with flying colors, you get an A. There's no fucking pests and shit crawling around in your kitchen while you're serving people food, right? Some places got a B. I got standards, okay? I got standards. I'll always not even question a place that has an A outside. You got an A rating. You passed your inspection. I could eat off the fucking floor. Maybe. You got a B. What happened? Did someone fucking not wash their hands and the guy saw it and then they went back and started handling food? Were people not wearing hairnets? Because if that's the case, then how come, wearing a mask has been a huge thing, because I remember when I would go to Subway all the time when I was a young man and I wanted to eat fresh, before all that fucking shit came out about Jared, the Subway guy, who I could not separate the art from the artist then, because that guy was a freak and a weirdo. Right? We can all agree, fuck Jared from Subway, right? We can all agree on that. But not fuck Jared Leto. He's very talented. Very talented. Not a guy that I feel like I could sit down and have a conversation with, because I feel like his mind is somewhere else. He's got those crazy eyes, right? Like he looks like he's in another dimension maybe. I don't know. But incredibly talented, and I think he can do anything for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, what happened? I remember I would go to Subway, and this happens now if I go to Chipotle. I get so fucking mad when the people preparing my food are talking to each other while they're preparing my food right in front of me. Because I know that so much spit flies out of my mouth when I talk. I'm not kidding, and I'm not just saying this shit to be funny. I'm like Daffy Duck. There's just spit fly. I don't know what it is. It's funny because I could say that I overproduce liquid, but I don't. I don't even sweat that much. Like I gotta really be going for it to sweat, And I'm not like a sweat dripping off the body guy, but I'm a spit flying out of the mouth guy. And so when I see people talking while they're like putting food in preparing food for me, it really, really pisses me off. So some places you're still required to wear a mask, which is nice. Because what's worse, you can't see someone spit on your food, but I guess if maybe they weren't wearing a hairnet. Maybe people got hair all over the place. I try not to think about, what's the worst that could happen when I'm about to eat something, or what's the worst that could have happened to the food I'm about to consume. Because at the end of the day, I'm hungry and I don't want to spoil my appetite with the bullshit. Because I'll tell you what, I don't have a weak stomach, but just imagining certain things will ruin my appetite. Right? Now, if a place has a B, I'll still eat at it. With that being said, if it has a C, no way. I feel like I don't even think they let you stay open if you have a C. Let me look this up. Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. I'll tell you guys one thing. I'm one of those people. It takes me forever to type something in. People that leave their fingers on the home keys and really just start shooting off at the fucking keys with the text. I'm not one of those people. So lowest grade you can get in a Okay, so a score of 90%. All right, wow. What's the lowest grade a restaurant can get? What are the grades restaurants can receive? First of all, a score of 90% or higher equals an A grade. Awesome. A score of 80% or higher, but lower than 90 equals a B. Duh. A score of 70 or higher, but lower than 80% equals a C. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I'm curious to know, if you guys are curious to know too, how they do it. Okay, public health hazard, critical violation. Okay, public health hazard. Failing to keep the food at the right temperature triggers a minimum of 7 points. Huh. If the violation can't be corrected before the inspection ends, the health department may close the restaurant until it's fixed. Like you're sitting there eating, all right, everybody get the fuck out of here. What's going on? Well, these assholes are trying to kill you with fucking room temperature chicken that's been sitting in here for a week. You can kill someone. You really can. Let's see. Critical health violation. For example, serving raw food such as a salad without properly washing it first carries a minimum of 5 points. Yeah, you can give somebody E. coli. Remember when E. coli was the thing? Those were simpler times. Remember when we were worried about SARS? Remember when we were worried about opening mail because it had fucking anthrax in it? I still think about that shit. And that's my excuse for never opening my fucking mail. Unless I know I ordered something and I'm like, there's no anthrax in this for sure. Like, I'm 100% positive. A general violation, such as not properly sanitizing cooking utensils, using a spatula as a back scratcher, and then using it to flip over a burger. I bet people do shit like that all the time. Inspectors assign additional points to reflect the extent of the violation. A violation's condition level can range from 1, least extensive, to 5, most extensive. For example, the presence of one contaminated food item is a condition level 1 violation, generating 7 points. 4 or more contaminated food items is a condition level 4 violation, resulting in 10 points. So they really want to make sure that these restaurants are following safety precautions. Now, my original point, what was my original point? My original point was you can't see this shit on Seamless, right? All you get is to go by ratings. Maybe a bunch of people that order from this place gave it a 4.5 star out of 5 stars. And then you walk up to the place and they got a fucking C because maybe 3 people a year die from eating their chicken sandwich. Maybe their salad is killing someone, right? But it's like, are you still going to get on the ride at Great Adventure, right? Because like one person fell off the ride a year and you think, well, thousands of people ride this ride, so fuck that one person, right? What were they, not wearing the seatbelt right or something, right? That's got to be it. That's got to be it. Or like the person who died from eating a salad at this restaurant. What, did they have a weak stomach? That's how we think. And and rightfully so, right? That's the new version of survival of the fittest. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I will be here all week. Yeah, it's great. Another thing, I saw an article this week, and this was really interesting. I read articles now. I got this new thing by the way, everyone, it's been about 2 months since I've been on social media, and people tell me, yo, I've been sending you shit. I've been tagging you and stuff, and I'm like, hey, that's cool, man. Thanks for thinking of me. But I just haven't been on. I just haven't, and it's nice. It's nice. So I find myself filling my time when I have downtime with other things. I've really gotten into Malcolm Gladwell recently, and I'm not trying to sound pretentious, but that guy's got some ideas. He's an interesting dude, and he's Canadian. I didn't know that shit. It was a name I would hear, and I'd be like, whatever. People are into this. This dude's probably a smart guy, whatever. And now I'm into his shit. That's cool. That's what I've been getting into. I'm about to buy one of his books, Talking to Strangers or some shit like that. I think that's the first one I'm going to buy. I'm going to get into that after I finish reading Deadpool and Cable, because that's what I'm reading now. Because I read, right? So I wake up every Sunday now and I read these articles. And I find that in making healthy choices, it's important to me. It is imperative that I kind of do it in so many different ways, right? Like put healthy food in my body, drink a lot of water, work out, surround myself with people who are trying to better themselves, rest, sleep, not overpromise people that I could show up to places and overextend myself, right? Really prioritize my mental health and things like this. So I've been consuming stuff that has really been, educational type shit, or just hearing things from different perspectives. I think sometimes we just get so trapped in our routine and so lost in just being rigid and not wanting to hear, being closed off, not being open to new ideas or new perspectives. And that's what I've been fucking doing. I've been expanding my motherfucking mind, man. You know, so that's cool. And if you don't want to expand your mind, that's cool. You can keep being a fucking stupid prick, or you could learn some shit. So I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna pull the trigger, and I think I'm gonna get a subscription to some kind of news channel. I think I'm gonna do the Atlantic. I like the writers on there. They're really good. That's just me. That's a quick update. Now, that being said, I read an article, and I believe it was in the Atlantic. I'll tell you right now. Was this the Atlantic? Might have been a BuzzFeed. No, it was in Life. Life? Is this Life? Whatever. All right. So, apparently, people don't change their bed sheets often enough. Have you ever thought about this? Of course I've thought about this. I'm a fucking person. You just go weeks and weeks and days, and you go, you know what? I took a shower. I got in bed. I don't get in bed dirty. Sometimes you do get in bed dirty. When I used to go out and get hammered all the time, I would get in bed sometimes in the shirt I was wearing at the bar on a night that maybe I rolled around on the floor in it, wrestling with my buddy Ryan, right? We did shit like that all the time. And then I laid in the bed that I put my face all over the sheets, right? Or you just sweat and all these oils and shit come out of your body, and it's like excrement. And your body is just getting rid of all the bullshit, and you just lay in it and you lay in it and you lay in it day after day. And sometimes it can fuck with your skin. So I'm not going to read you this fucking article, but I saw this thing that said this place called Pazuna Linens conducted a survey of 2,250 UK adults over the age of 18, found that 62% of single women change their bedding once every 2 weeks, whilst only 29% single men wash their sheets at the same rate. Almost half of single men said they only wash their sheets every 3 to 4 months. So, yeah, motherfuckers ain't washing their sheets, ladies. So if you go to a guy's house and you get in his bed, just know that it's probably not clean, right? But you've already accepted that. You've already said, fuck it. I want this dude so fucking bad. I want him. I want all of him, all the way inside of me right now. And you know what? I don't give a fuck about these sheets. Fuck it. We'll take them off the bed. Fuck it. We won't even do it in the bed. But we'll sleep on the bed. Shit, you might not even make it to the bed though, right? According to Drake, when he said, fuck on the floor before we make it to the bed. That's romantic. Yeah, but I really started thinking about that, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I don't clean my sheets often enough. I try not to like have really sweaty days where I'm doing 2 workouts in a day and I'm fucking just kind of gross and just go jump right into bed. But I can't lie, I've fallen asleep at the end of the night on days like that and been like, well, this is the night. I'm going to just sleep through this night. Sometimes you get home and you don't want to jump right in the shower, but hygiene is important, you know? And sometimes we forget it's getting warm out. You don't have to deal with other people's hygiene or poor hygiene for that matter when it's cold as much, because people are covered up. People are wearing sweaters and shit, coats. You know, people got layers on, so you don't got to deal with the scent of their fucking gross body that they don't actually really tend to enough, you know? And I've heard people say shit that I think is stupid, right? This is how, you see how I'm rephrasing it? There was a point in time, and the younger me would say, I heard people say dumb shit. No, I've heard people say things that I think are stupid. Me. This is my opinion about these fucking things. You know you're allowed to have an opinion? Here goes mine. So, I've heard people say dumb shit like, yeah, well, the only reason I wear deodorant, or I feel like I have to wear deodorant, is because society told me that as a woman, I gotta wear deodorant. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Don't wear deodorant. Just fucking don't be next to me. Okay? I don't even have My nose doesn't even work that well. Sometimes I got one working nostril. Do you hear this voice? Does this sound like the voice of somebody who could breathe through his nose? That was just I'm a fucking mouth breather. And if I can smell you through all the debris in my fucking nose canal, then you stink, okay? All right, so take care of it as best as you can. Now, some people have things, that are blocking them from being able to do that, and that I respect and understand. But if you're just not doing it because you got some fucking dumb self-righteous reason, I don't want to be your friend. Don't even try it, all right? Fuck off. But on a lighter note, I really do feel pumped that you guys have been with me through this whole time. I'll be honest, there was a couple of times in this journey that I was debating going, fuck this podcast. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I think I have a little bit of it in me to just become a full recluse and just kind of disappear and retreat and isolate myself. And I didn't always have that. But the older I've gotten and the more of the honest journey that I've had with myself about who I've been and kind of always wanting to be this guy who wants to be the center of attention but acts like he doesn't, and then wants all this attention from these women and wants to fucking be the best at stuff, but like I feel like I was kind of ignoring things for a long time that were just going on with me emotionally and mentally. And as I try to build on that, it's a lonely road, I think, trying to better yourself, or at least it can feel that way at times, right? Like you're like, well, I don't do these things that I used to do anymore, so I feel like I can't fuck with people the way I used to fuck with them. Or people don't fuck with me the same way, but I don't even want to fuck with them because I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with myself in my life. And you kind of find this level of comfort in the quiet, right? In the calmness. You kind of, are able to start to figure out who you are. And I figured out something this morning. I texted my boy. I said, in all this growth and energy I've put into becoming better, the biggest thing that I have yet to conquer is my fucking ego. And I tell you what, it's like such a simple thing, and everybody's like, yeah, of course, that's a hard thing to but it's like, think about that shit, right? Like on so many different levels, your ego will just come into play and either like push you forward to doing things, like, right? Like propel you forward, or stop you from doing shit that maybe you should. I'm really trying to do what I said a few episodes back, where like when I get to a fork in the road and I usually go left, I'm trying to go right just to see what would happen. Just to see. I always do this. Why don't I just try this? I think this way. Why don't I try to reframe this? Right? You can't do that if you continue to put yourself in a box. And also, if you keep letting everybody else's expectation of you be like the way you conduct yourself, you're missing out on maybe doing some dope shit. So I don't know who I'm talking to or who needed to hear that, but that's dope. Just like when I was talking about how some people should have better hygiene, I don't know who needed to hear that, but the person who does need to hear that, guarantee they're going to ignore it. That's just how that shit works. Guys, so this is episode 100. There is a Beverly show coming up in a couple of weeks. If you live in New York City and you want to come see some talented motherfuckers be funny and have a good time on stage doing some sketch comedy, like when you watch Saturday Night Live and they're all sketches and it's all funny, silly grown-ups playing on stage. That's the same thing as what we do. Yeah. So I'm going to announce that date on the next episode, right? So stick with it. Also, if you have any questions, concerns, would you like some advice from your boy, You can shoot me an email at coreyhasapodcast@gmail.com. That's it. Shout out to everybody who's been holding me down from the fucking beginning. Shout out to Rocky Powell. It was her birthday. Big happy birthday shout out to her. Shout out to my boy Gary DeNoia, who put Beverly together and has his own podcast called Listen Up and Fucking Listen. And shout out to all of you. Shout out to Sierra from what's the name of your company? The linens, Kite Linens. Tell me it's Kite Linens. Yes, it is Kite Linens. Oh, God, I feel like an asshole. Shout out to Sierra from Kite Linens, who is an avid listener. Shout out to Courtney Arona, who's an avid listener as well. I love you guys. Keep sharing the show. So make sure you're subscribed to it on Instagram. Go give it a rating and give it a review, for Christ's sakes. It's fucking 100 episodes, everybody. Go out and celebrate. I don't drink, so I'm probably going to fire off a couple of fucking firecrackers off the balcony. It's a fire escape. All right, everybody. Take care of yourselves. And for the 100th time, take care of the people you love. God damn it. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Later.